It's March 2001, and I'm alone in my apartment in Hollywood, California. My girlfriend Shayna, the girl I'm in love with, the girl that I've been living with for the last 2 years, has just left me. No warning, no signs, completely out of the blue. I love Shayna. Shayna loves me. She wanted us to get married. And just like that, all of her stuff is out of the apartment and she's gone. The only thing I'm thinking is, my rent has now just doubled. I loved Shayna. I really loved Shayna. I mean, people were always commenting on how we made such a great couple and how we were always laughing all the time. But all I could think about was the financial consequences of what just happened. I know that's wrong. I know the guy that sat there crunching the numbers of a new apartment right down to the minutia. That guy's messed up. But I don't know how I became that guy. Have you guys ever asked yourselves, why are you the way that you are? Is our personality and who we are today a result of our parents? I mean, am I a lot like my mom or dad? Did I learn from my parents' mistakes and I made it a point not to do the same thing? Did that affect my relationship with Shayna? Where does being a neat freak and being very concerned with money come from? Could our personality traits be astrological? Have you ever looked up somebody's astrological profile and went, yeah, this person's kind of like that? Have you ever looked up your own astrological profile and said, well, you know, I'm kind of like that? Maybe we're predisposed to a certain behavior or personality depending on our heritage. I mean, how does a stereotype become a stereotype? Are there certain character traits that come with our bloodline? Is it in your genes that if you're Asian, you're great at math? Is it in your genes that if you're black, you have a big dance ability? Everybody on my father's side of the family are observant Jews. I was not raised Jewish. Is it possible, even though I wasn't raised Jewish, but because I come from a long line of Jews, is it possible that I exhibit the stereotypes? Now again, I wasn't raised Jewish, but for our first year of school, Lance and I went to Hebrew school. And the bus would pick us up, take us to the other side of Los Angeles. At the end of the day, would drop us off. We'd hop off of the bus wearing our yarmulkes. But because we lived in Compton, we'd take our yarmulkes and put them on the side of our head like berets walking down the street. Yeshiva in the hizzy. Does money or the lack of money shape us? See, most people say they wouldn't change if they had lots of money. But would they be different if they grew up poor? See, because Shayna's family had money, and her attitude about it was different than mine. Shayna, most people in America's #1 worry is money. I mean, every single day, people buy lottery tickets, go to casinos, buy those books, How to Be a Millionaire, with no money down. I've always felt like I never had enough money. I remember one time I got a call from the bank that said, Mr. Diamond, you have insufficient funds. I said, I totally agree. Later in my life, I spent years as a comedian sleeping in my car, knowing that the difference between sleeping in my car and getting a motel was $30. I've always felt if I'm rich, my life is worry-free. I have no problems. My whole life was always dedicated towards being a very rich and successful entertainer. But then one day, my whole philosophy about money changed. If you believe, you can achieve. If you believe, you can achieve. Can I get an amen? Amen. When she talked about having kids, I said, well, Shayna, kids cost money. I mean, it's not that I don't want kids. I mean, if I had $1 million in the bank, I'd have kids right now. She said, well, when I first met you, you said $500,000. Yeah, but with inflation, you know, the whole cost of living thing. Now you'd be in a higher tax bracket. You know? I would have left me too.